This bottle holds 3 ingredients: peppers, vinegar, and salt. The salt comes from a deposit directly beneath the factory floor. That deposit is 165 million years old. The peppers are aged in bourbon barrels for 3 years before they become sauce. Most hot sauces are bottled within days. This one takes longer than most wines. Every single bottle, 720,000 per day, starts and ends on one piece of ground in the Louisiana bayou. Not a factory district, not a coast, a single mound of ancient salt rising out of the swamp. So how does prehistoric salt produce the most recognized hot sauce on Earth? And what changes about that little bottle once you know? Locals call it Avery Island. 2,200 acres of high ground surrounded by bayou and cypress swamp, 163 feet above sea level, the highest point on the entire Gulf Coast. It is not an island. It is a salt dome, a column of rock salt 3 miles long and 2.5 miles wide, pushed to the surface by its own pressure. Salt buried deep enough behaves like a fluid. It rises, and when it breaks through, it creates high ground where there should be swamp. During the Civil War, that salt was a weapon. Confederate troops defended the mines beneath the dome. Salt preserved meat for armies across the lower South. Union gunboats attacked by water in 1862 and failed. Federal troops captured the island by land the following spring and destroyed the mining equipment. The families who owned the land fled to Texas. One of them was Edmund McIlhenny. He came back to a ruined plantation and a bland reconstruction south. In 1868, he grew his first crop of Tabasco peppers, mashed them with salt from the mine beneath his feet, added vinegar, and filled used cologne bottles. 658 bottles went to grocers in New Orleans at $1 each. He called it Tabasco, a word of Mexican Indian origin believed to mean place where the soil is humid. The recipe has not changed since, but the scale has. Every Tabasco pepper on Earth begins as a seed selected on Avery Island. The company grows a small crop on the island itself, but the majority of its peppers come from farms across Central America, South America, and Africa. Guatemala, Honduras, Colombia, Peru, South Africa, Zambia. The seeds ship out. The peppers grow thousands of miles away, but every harvest circles back. When pickers walk into a pepper field, they carry a small red stick called the petit bâton rouge. It is the exact shade a ripe Tabasco pepper must match. Pickers hold a stick against each pepper on the vine. If the color matches, the pepper is picked. If not, it stays. No machines, no sensors. A wooden stick and a human eye. Peppers must be mashed the same day they are picked. Within hours, they are ground into a coarse paste and mixed with Avery Island salt at 8% by weight. In South America, the salt is shipped from Louisiana to the farm so the ratio stays exact. The mash ferments locally for about a month, then ships back to the island. When the mash arrives, it goes into white oak barrels. These are decommissioned bourbon barrels sourced from distilleries across the country. Before loading, each barrel is decharred, torched again, and fitted with stainless steel hoops. The original iron hoops cannot survive. The acidity of pepper mash eats through them. Then comes the step that separates Tabasco from every other hot sauce on the shelf. Workers pack a thick layer of Avery Island salt across the top of each barrel. The salt hardens into a crust that blocks contamination but allows fermentation gases to escape through micro fissures. A living seal. 73,000 barrels sit in the warehouse, stacked 6 high. They stay for up to 3 years. Lactic acid bacteria convert residual sugars. Enzymes break down pepper cell walls, releasing capsaicin and flavor compounds trapped inside. The humidity and heat of the Louisiana bayou are not obstacles. They are ingredients. Temperature shifts drive the mash to expand and contract inside the wood, pulling traces of bourbon-soaked oak into the flavor. At year 1, sharp and raw. At year 2, the heat softens. By year 3, equilibrium, heat, tang, and layered complexity. After 3 years, the salt cap comes off. The aged mash is strained, skins and seeds composted back into island soil. The liquid blends with distilled vinegar and stirs for 28 days, then bottled. 720,000 2-ounce bottles per day, shipped to 195 countries in 36 languages. Miniature bottles bearing the presidential seal ride on Air Force One. The barrels go back. An average barrel is reused 15 to 20 times over 35 to 40 years. Some in the warehouse are 80 to 90 years old. But here is the part that reframes everything. 3 years is not a marketing choice. It is a chemical threshold. In the first weeks, lactic acid fermentation converts sugars and stabilizes the mash. Over months, enzymatic hydrolysis breaks proteins into amino acids and flavor precursors. Capsaicin, the molecule responsible for heat, does not increase during aging. It redistributes. It binds with fatty acids and integrates into the liquid instead of sitting on the surface as isolated burn. Bottled at 6 months, this mash gives you heat and acid. One dimension. At 3 years, you get architecture. Layered flavor with heat woven through rather than stacked on top. Tabasco's aging is closer to balsamic vinegar than to anything most people would call hot sauce. But the origin story has a crack in it. Journalist Jeffrey Rothfeder researched the company for his book McIlhenny's Gold. He found that a politician named Maunsel White was producing Tabasco pepper sauce nearly 2 decades before McIlhenny filled his first cologne bottle. White grew the peppers, made sauce, served it to guests. Newspaper accounts confirm it. The company history does not mention him. Then there is the island. In 1938, Edmund's grandson released nutria from South America into the wetlands. They became one of Louisiana's most destructive invasive species, devouring the marshlands around Avery Island. The same family had founded Bird City in 1895 to save the snowy egret from extinction. One generation rescued an ecosystem. The next accidentally helped destroy part of it. And all of it, the salt, the patience, the contradictions, fits inside a bottle you can hold between 2 fingers. Next time you are at a diner or a hotel breakfast and you reach for that little bottle of Tabasco, the one that has been sitting there so long it is almost furniture, pick it up. Notice how light it is. A few ounces. You could forget it is there, but inside that glass is more patience than most things you will ever hold. 3 years of waiting compressed into something that fits next to the ketchup. A geological deposit compressed into a seasoning. A global harvest compressed into a recipe that has outlived every person who made it. The bottle is small because everything enormous about it has already been reduced. Time, distance, stubbornness. Squeezed down until there is nothing left but 3 ingredients and the flavor they built while no one was watching. Most condiments are manufactured. This one is waited for. 3 drops. That is the whole island in your hand. 3 ingredients, 1 island, and a small red stick that decides whether a pepper is ready or not. That is the process. We reveal how things actually work, one story at a time. If there is something you would like us to explore next, let us know. Until then, trust the process.